Powers, Raleigh.
Joe Nightdale.
Steve Long, Raleigh.
Thank you. On behalf of the board and the university leadership, I want to let you know that we value the input and opinions of the university community and general public, especially citizens of North Carolina, on issues related to the university. We look forward to these public comment sessions as an opportunity to hear from you. The public comment session is a chance for the board and the president to hear directly from you. Just a quick word about the format. You will notice right away that we will be completely in listening mode. When commenters are speaking, board members will not be engaging in conversation with the speakers or offering comments in response. With that said, we're going to listen to what you have to say. This is a common format and approach to public comment sessions like this, and it ensures that speakers can be heard. Each speaker will be allocated a maximum of 3 minutes, and a timer can be viewed on the board. We will be following up on the comments we hear with our university staff. Individuals who did not register as speakers or wish to provide their views in writing may submit written information to public@bog.northcarolina.edu. As a reminder, the success of our public comment sessions depends on the respectful engagement of everyone involved. We ask that everyone in attendance observe the board's expectations of decorum. At the conclusion of the public comment session, all guests will be directed to exit through the back patio doors. Any guests that wish to attend our 9:30 a.m. board meeting will need to re-enter through the front of the building and will receive priority admission once the number of seats have been made available. Thank you all again for attending, and let's begin our public comment session, starting with Lori Carswell.
Am I supposed to use this?
To the middle of the mic.
Is it on? I don't do this a whole lot, so can you hear me? Is it on? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Lori Carswell, and I'm here to talk about why Silent Sam should be removed from campus. I've been a Chapel Hill resident for 28 years. I earned a Master of Public Health degree from UNC in 2006. For the past 7 years, I've taught English as a second language to UNC housekeeping, hospital, and food service employees. I appreciate and value the diversity of UNC and the Chapel Hill community, and that is why I'm here to join the voices asking you, the UNC leadership, to remove the statue from the campus. The statue represents white supremacy and the defense of slavery. It does not belong at UNC. I knew that the statue had a long history of controversy and protest, but like many people, I started paying closer attention last fall. I participated in the rallies. I stopped by the sit-in a couple of times and talked with students. There was one senior student who made a big impression on me. She talked to me for a long time about how it made her feel. She told me about the racism she'd experienced in high school and how she hoped it would be better when she got to UNC, but in many ways it was not. She told me very specific stories of racist incidents at UNC, like being excluded from social events because she was black. She felt that Silent Sam was a significant symbol of a larger culture at UNC that is still alive, not a good culture. I am sure there are many other students who feel the same way. After the events of last August, I thought the sit-ins and protests and the other efforts of so many in the community would have an impact. I thought the statue would probably be gone by the end of the school year. Well, not so much. I don't remember the name of the student who talked to me, unfortunately, but she has probably graduated by now, and I feel really sad that she and her peers did not get the satisfaction and the relief of seeing the statue removed before their commencement. It is well past time to remove it and to use its removal as a starting point for positive changes on campus. Silent Sam is a poorly chosen nickname. The statue is actually pretty loud once you understand its history and context. It screams that racism is okay, that white people still control the South, and that defending the institution of slavery was noble and just. to quote a blog post from a few days ago by UNC graduate student Kelly McArdle. It is, quote, a vestige of and shrine to white supremacy. As long as Silent Sam remains on campus, it will necessarily lack the contextual information needed for viewers to understand the circumstances of its dedication and intended meaning, end of quote. And that blog post is on classicalstudies.org, I recommend it. So why is the statue still there after all these years of protest and pain? I know that one excuse is the law that the state legislature passed, but the bottom line is that no one in UNC's leadership has yet found the courage to get it removed. And I wish that you would find the courage to do the right thing. In closing, I ask again that you consider the racist message that not Silent Sam screams to the community. It is offensive, embarrassing, and a threat to public safety, and yet we are still spending tax dollars to protect it. As a community member, UNC graduate, and taxpayer, I strongly object to the statue, and I urge you to remove it from campus now. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michelle Brown. Our next speaker is Maya Little.
Hello, I'm Maya Little. I am a PhD student and an employee of UNC Chapel Hill. Today I have brought in signs made by myself and other student protesters from the Silent Sam sit-in. These signs were made in March and were in daily use at the sit-in for more than a month before they were ripped apart by campus police. These signs talked about UNC's failure to protect black people on its campus, such as in the murder of James Cates. Just to show you the signs that we made that were ripped up. This one was about James Cates. He was a 22-year-old black community member stabbed by a white supremacist motorcycle gang and left to bleed out in UNC's pit by local police in 1971. But this is not only about a refusal to protect, but also about UNC's police force harassing students protesting against racism. This sign details the use of riot police on anti-racist activists in August. I have other signs that detail the activities of an undercover campus police officer who lied to and gathered information on students, faculty, and community members. We made these signs in our continued commitment to learn and teach and work for racial equality and student safety on our campus. This Board of Governors, UNC's administration, and campus police over and over again demonstrate their opposition to this. According to emails between yourselves and the Chancellor's office from fall, Marty Kotis, I don't know if he's here. Is he here? No? Okay. Ordered a fence built around Silent Sam to protect the statue and students disallowed from gathering on their own campus. David Powers, who is here today, I didn't see him before here during the public comment section, said that the faculty and students protesting the statue were spoiled children. Tom Fetzer, who is here today also, and usually isn't here, similarly was more concerned with vandalism and damage to the statue than with white supremacist threats to student activists and a racist symbol on a public university campus. 14 of you signed on supporting a letter in which you made priority of the statue over student lives. Your communications have revealed your blatant disregard for black student lives at UNC, but this is also an issue of free speech. On April 30th, I smeared my blood in red ink on Silent Sam. Within minutes of my arrest, police had forcefully dragged my friends away from the statue and stolen these signs. We have used them every day for months within our rights to protest racism on our campus. Campus police took them, then methodically ripped them apart and threw them in a trash can. This was all recorded on video by students concerned with the violation of our First Amendment rights. Those videos were all sent to you also. A fellow grad student worker later fished all of our ripped signs from the garbage, pieced them back together, and returned them to us, which is why they are still here today. When campus police were asked that day and on multiple occasions why it was necessary to rip apart our signs, they did not respond. So I ask you all, after your support for a free speech policy in which disruptions of other speech on campus will be punished, how will you punish the continued harassment of our protests and violation of our First Amendment rights? How will you rectify yours and UNC administrators' blatant opposition to student rights, to criticize the university system? For my nonviolent action, I was immediately arrested and charged with a crime
You need to-
Students can be harassed, punished, threatened, pushed, their belongings taken from them for protesting, shushed and quieted. But what happens at UNC when police officers destroy materials that expose police brutality? What happens when elected university officials conspire to protect a racist statue at the expense of student safety and free speech? That's all.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Heather Redding.
My name is Heather Redding. I'm a member of a local community group called Hillsborough Progressives Taking Action. I'm here to speak once again about relocating Silent Sam from this campus. First though, I would like to request a public hearing similar to the one hosted by the Board of Trustees last year, one that allows for community members to participate and share their opinions in a broader forum. Next, as you probably know, a 400 square foot Confederate flag was recently erected right outside of Hillsborough by an SPLC designated hate group. This group has been very public about their grievances against Orange County, which includes the student movement to relocate Silent Sam from this campus. The very same group that funded this flag in Orange County is the group that supports the statue you protect on this campus. This is the group whose supporter referenced lynching one of your students and who just recently celebrated Secession Day, and whose followers spew violent and hateful rhetoric. This very group's interests are the interests you protect every day you refuse to petition the North Carolina Historical Commission to relocate Silent Sam. We repeatedly hear from neo-Confederate heritage organizations that the Civil War was fought over states' rights. Folks with Confederate roots maintain that most North Carolinians were not slave owners, that their ancestors were not complicit in the buying and selling of human beings, and that secession wasn't about slavery. But let us not forget, though, the 34,658 individuals who, according to the 1860 census, did own slaves in North Carolina. Let us remember the 34,658 individuals who did trade in human flesh, who did participate in the buying, selling, beating, and raping of human beings, who did consider black people less than human, who did believe in their own racial superiority. Let us not forget the 331,059 slaves who were owned by 28% of North Carolina's families in 1860, or the 4,000 slaves whose names can be found in the old deed books of Orange County from the 1700s and 1800s. The fact is, a celebration of secession, a flag worshiping the Confederacy, and a statue venerating those who fought for the Confederacy are honoring a racist history and lamenting the loss of the war. Let us not forget the 34,000 North Carolinians who owned slaves in 1860 and actively participated in a system that was only sustained through white supremacy and the total dehumanization of an entire people. So to have Silent Sam on UNC's campus is to honor the UDC, the United Daughters of the Confederacy, above your own esteemed history faculty. To have Silent Sam on UNC's campus is to legitimize the North Carolina Sons of Confederate Veterans, who state, the citizen soldiers who fought for the Confederacy personified the best qualities of America. To have Silent Sam on UNC's campus is to honor a singular American experience, one that ignores the human dignity that is inseparable from our nation's history. I ask that you petition the North Carolina Historical Commission and ask them to relocate Silent Sam in the name of public safety. A weapon used to propagate racism does not make for a safe campus environment. Thank you.
Thank you all for attending.